Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video, I'll be walking you through this SQL AI Assistant. What this AI Assistant does is that it helps you get any information from your database without having to write any line of SQL query. To get any information from this database, all you have to do is to pass in the query in natural language. Let's say we want to get the total sales for 2019. All we have to do is ask the AI what's the total sales for 2019. And as you can see, it's running now. The total sales for 2019 is approximately $19,454.84. So we can see that this is it. It provided us with the results. And if we go to the SQL code tab, it provided us with the actual code it used to run this analysis. And if you have some level of SQL knowledge, you can see that it used the select sum total sales. So select total sales, sum of total sales as total sales underscore 2019 purchase from purchase info, then where other year is equal to 2019, which is the correct SQL code for running this. Let's say we want to find something else. For instance, the best selling product, the quantity sold, and the revenue generated from the product. So we pass in the prompt. What's the best selling product, the quantity sold, and the revenue generated. Then we run the prompt. You can see that it's running right now and the result is out. The best selling product is AAA batteries 4-pack with a total quantity sold of 100 and a total revenue of $299. So it's not actually a highly profitable product, but it has the highest amount sold, and that's what we are asking, the best selling product based on the quantity sold. Let's check the SQL code. So it utilized the product, quantity sold, and total sales from the purchase information table. So it got the total quantity sold, sum of total quantity sold as total quantity sold, and total sales, sum of total sales as total revenue. Then from purchase information table, it then grouped it by product and ordered by product sold in descending order. It limits to 1, which is the correct SQL code to get this output. Now you may be wondering if this our AI assistant performs some complex functions like join, and the answer is yes. Let's try and perform a join function now. So let's find the total sales revenue from each locations because we have different tables there. So what's the total revenue from each location? And we run it. So you can see that it has provided us with the total revenue from each location, from Boston, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, all the locations where we have a store. It now provided the sales for each location so that you can easily compare, okay, which store is doing better, which store needs to go Then we have the SQL code. And as you can see, it performed a join function by joining the purchase information table and using the common column there, which is the order ID. It joined the purchase information table to the purchase location table using the order ID, then grouped it by purchase location because that's what we need, and ordered by total revenue in descending. So this is it. Very easy. Let me explain how this works. The process is quite easy and straightforward. So this SQL Assistant takes user question in natural language and passes it to the underlying large language model. And for this project, we are using the GPT model 3.5, which will then convert it to a SQL query that will query the database automatically and retrieve the final output, which will be forwarded to the end user. So it's a simple, straightforward process. It's applicable in businesses where the project manager or other stakeholders may not have adequate SQL knowledge but rely on information in the database to build their report. So for this solution, we'll be needing some libraries like the Streamlit for building the front end, OpenAI for our large language model, and since I'm getting my information from MySQL database, I'll be needing the MySQL database Python connection. So you can go ahead and pip install it if you don't have it already. The first thing to do is to import the necessary package and modules, necessary libraries and modules. So the first one we'll be importing is Streamlit. We'll also be needing the OpenAI library. So we'll be importing this LangChain underscore OpenAI library for connecting the GPT model. So from LangChain underscore OpenAI import chat OpenAI. Thank you. We'll also be importing the module to create our SQL agent from LangChain. Agent. Agent. So let's import the library for interacting with our database again from LangChain also. Agent. That's agent. Let's go to it. database to import SQL database to from launcher dot agents agent type. So we have to import the agent type. And dot chat model. Where is it? Chat model. Import chat OpenAI. Connect with our GPT model. From launcher again. Dot SQL database. Import SQL database. This is for the database connection. Underscore still underscore query underscore chain. Use a function to import SQL query chain. Why do I have this error? Function SQL database dot query. So the next thing after importing the modules and libraries, we have to set our OpenAI API key. So we have to set the OpenAI API key. To do this, you have to first generate the key, and here you will just be passing the key here. So OpenAI underscore API key. We'll pass it and put your API key. So I will not be entering mine here. You can just enter yours here. OpenAI dot API underscore equal to underscore key. So you have to pass this one a small letter. Okay. So after passing your API key, let's now set up the front end. That's the front end will require for this analysis using Streamlit. First comment, set up Streamlit app. st.title, which is the title of this app. We used st because we passed Streamlit as st. Remember, import Streamlit as st. So in Streamlit.title, okay, we enter the title. So personal SQL assistant. The subtitle st dot subheader. Here we'll pass just a brief explanation of what this app is all about. Is your personal SQL AI. Okay, let's add one. I can help you get any information from your database. So let's include that. I can help you get any information from your database. So that's what we'll be using as the subheader. Now let's create a user input, just like a box, where the user will be passing their query in natural language. So user input, and we include the text in the box. It's equal to st.test underscore input. So let's enter your question here. So remember that we have the two tabs here present in the app, the result tab and the SQL code tab. So the result shows the final result of the query we entered here. So let's say total sum of sales. Hit enter. It's running. So the total sum of sales in the database is approximately $90,454 89 cents 84 cents. So the result tab shows this result, while the SQL code tab shows the SQL code used in running this analysis, which you can copy from here and check out in the database. So now let's create this tab in our code. So to create and name these tabs is actually simple in Streamlit. What we need to do is title tabs, pass it as Streamlit, that's st.tabs, then in bracket we'll pass in the name we want for the tabs. So the first one is results. Result, and the second one is SQL code. So you can have as many as we want here, but for this analysis we just need these two. Assume we want to create another tab called error message, we can include it here. But we don't need that, so we'll just go ahead with the two we have. That's what we need fully for this. So the next thing now we'll be doing is to set up the SQL database connection and ChatGPT model. That's what we need to do. So let me just comment it out. Set up database connection and GPT model. So yeah, the first thing we need to do is to establish a connection to MySQL. So to do that, AB, which is our database, will pass as capital letter SQL database that from URI. In brackets. Inside here now, pass our SQL, MySQL connector, the root, and the database you want to connect to this app. So first things first, we'll connect MySQL. You write the code, MySQL. SQL connector. Colon, then double slash. Root, another colon. Then after this, now you enter your root access here. So let me write it. So, followed by another slash and the database name. So for this one, the database, just let me just write database name. So having done that, let's now include our chat GPT model. So chat OpenAI chat OpenAI. Then in brackets here, we'll pass the temperature, the model of the chat GPT we want to use, then pass our OpenAI key, OpenAI API key as OpenAI API key. So we'll pass this also to make sure we connect to the model fully. So for this, we'll be using the GPT 3.5 turbo, and the temperature will be set as 0. So what this temperature does is it controls the randomness of the model's response. That's basically what it does. So let's do that. Temperature equals 0. And model. Okay. GPT 4.5 turbo. Comma. I will now pass this OpenAI API key as OpenAI API key. So we just copy this. Paste it right. Should be OpenAI underscore API key. We are passing this OpenAI key as OpenAI API key. So it should be underscore, not dot. So with these few lines of code, we have fully connected our database and the GPT model we want to use. So the next thing now we're going to do is to create a SQL agent. We're entering into the main business proper now. So let's comment it out. Agent is equal to create SQL agent. So inside this open bracket, we'll be passing in several stuff like the language model we want to use, the two variables, and the agent type. So remember, the large language model we are using here is the ChatGPT. So we are using OpenAI. Let's pass LLM. Let's go open. Two using the SQL database to and inside this we'll pass the database as DB. So we are passing this code, line of code now we created here to fully connect it. So instead of writing out these codes again here, we just pass this database DB as DB to make that connection. And I will also be specifying the large language model that will be used here. So LLM equal to chats underscore OpenAI. Then comma, continue. So grab brush is equal to first. Agent type equal to agent type dot OpenAI underscore function. So what this toolkit does is for the SQL interaction, that's what it helps for. And verbose here set as first is for controlling the level of output detail. So that's what these two line of code does. After doing this, let's create a SQL query chain. I will be passing chain as breaks. So I'm going to pass it as create SQL query chain break. Then SQL query chain. Then in bracket again, we'll pass our large language model as chats underscore OpenAI and connect again to the database. So what this SQL query chain does is for complete interaction with the database using the large language model. That's what it does. So by creating it, we are now making a full interaction with the database using our large language model. So we have to process the input. If user input colon, we'll pass our argument. So what this argument does, if user input, we want the response of this user input to run the query. So once this user input is entered the natural language, we want this agent to run it and provide us with the response. So we now display this response, which is the result, in the result tab. So with response, so with tab, because we are displaying it in the tab. The tab is 0 because it's the first one. st.write response. Now what this code does is that it takes this user question in natural language and run it using the agent, and then pass the result, which is this response, into our response tab. Remember that is the first tab we have, this result, so we'll pass our response into it. There's a column missing. Also it's tabs, not tabs. So with this code now, we can fully get the result of the output. But remember also, we don't also want to also get the result as well as the SQL code, and not just the result of the output. Because I want, once this code is executed, I can easily copy it and cross-check it in my SQL workbench. So let's generate the SQL code here. Let me comment it out. SQL code underscore code is equal to chain folk. So we are calling SQL chain dot invoke to pass question as user input. So what this line of code does is that it generates the SQL code used to run these results we got from this output. So the result that will be displayed on this result tab, this line of code runs the query to generate the SQL code. Sorry about that. To generate this SQL code we see here. So just like we did for the results tab, we also pass this, the results of this output now, into our SQL code tab. So with start. colon st.code. And we want the language it to be displayed into the SQL. So that will be all. With this now, when we run this code, this app should be running efficiently. So I have an error here. So let's save this code and run it now. So we'll be using the streamlit run streamlit command to run it here in our terminal. So streamlit run. Then I will now pass the location of this file here and run it. So let me do that. You can just copy out the location of the file and enter it here, but I want to type it out since I already know it. Slash the folder slash the title. So the title is SQL AI.py because it's a Python function. Click enter. Sorry about it. Let me just easily copy out the file path and enter it. It will be much easier. So I've copied it out now. Let's run it. Still loading the UI, and voila, that's it. Very easy, very easy. So here is the code and here is the output. So if you made any changes in the code, all you have to do is to save the code, then refresh the UI, and everything runs fully. This application have many use cases. Let's say in a scenario where a retail store outlet, a chain of retail store outlets wants to reward their top customer based on amount spent on the product. They want to reward their top customer for the year. You can use this application to easily get the customer as well as their email. For instance, let's pass which customer made the highest purchase which customer spent the most. Let's use this prompt. In 2019, I'll put in brackets here based on their total purchase, so that the large language model will understand. And from what location, because we want to get their location, comma, as well as their email address. Let's run this prompt. It's running right now. So the customer who spent the most in 2019 based on their purchase is Joan Sinka. The email address is this, and the purchase location was in San Francisco. So let's adjust the prompt to include how much. Let's run it right now. So the customer who spent the most in 2019 based on their purchase is Joan Senka, with email address of this, purchase location of San Francisco, and the total amount spent was $1,700 from a single customer. So in case of this cashback or reward, it's easy to get the customer that actually made this highest purchase for the whole year. So it's a very easy application to use and have many use cases. So this is the SQL code it used to generate this result, and it performed some multiple joins, joining 3 tables to get this result. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like and comment. Tell me in the comment section what you think about this project, factors that I should have considered, how it could be made better, and please subscribe to the channel for more content like this.